While we're sitting here, the sun will come out from behind that tree, and I'll be able to bask in the sunlight. I'll cover up if I can, I'll cover up the camera real quick with my hat. Not that it needs it. Of course, now it's a little bit out of level. So, excuse me. I meant to tell a story. Saturday, I've been making English muffin pizzas because I can, of course, use turkey pepperoni, Prego pizza sauce, and Sargento mozzarella cheese. And I added a little extra. I've been noticing that they've been kind of bland, flavorless for me. So I added a little bit of garlic powder or garlic sprinkles. Put some garlic sprinkles on it. And they came out really, really well. The garlic sprinkles were out of date. I've got 2 bottles of them, one from Publix and one from McCormick. Both from Publix, but one Publix brand. So I thought I saw something interesting. You know, one was from like 2021, so it's 3 years past date. But it still looked and smelled okay. Which I guess is the ultimate test, right? If it looks and smells okay, it's okay. Remind me to get another thing of garlic powder. It's actually like just crushed dried garlic. With a little bit of parsley in it, I think. These squirrels don't like these trees cut. There's Sally the squirrel running across the fence. Did you guys see her? It's close to the Sun and Fun. I thought I saw something in the bottle of crushed garlic, dried garlic. So I poured some out in a napkin looking for little critters, if you know what I mean. And it brought to mind a story. Growing up with having so many kids, it wasn't often we had company over for like dinner. And we would have like 6 of us at the dinner table. We would always have dinner together. My mom, my dad, and whatever kids were there. Of course, until the kids get to be like 15 or 16, and then forget about that. But by then the parents are so burned out, I don't think they do dinner anymore. But every night we'd have dinner, and this one occasion we had company over. I don't remember who it was. I thought it might have been Francie and Charlie, which are Johnny, Liz's, and Uncle Johnny and Uncle Liz's godparents. They were good godparents. They were the type that always remember you on your birthday, send you gifts, and they never had any children. You know, our parents used to tell us that they were brother and sister. They lived together. So I think they just didn't want to tell us that they lived together and weren't married. Francie and Charlie, may they rest in peace. I think they were the ones at dinner. And I went out into the kitchen. I think I finished earlier. There wasn't room for me at the table, so I ate, on a tray in the living room. And that's the way it was at Thanksgiving too. All the adults would sit at the main table. Then they would have like a children's table in another room for the children to sit at. So I was in the kitchen. Uncle Johnny comes into the kitchen and my mom's in there. And I hear Uncle Johnny say there, whisper something to her. And it kind of piqued my interest. So I watched what was going on. And Uncle Johnny had told my mom or Johnny had told Mom that there were worms in the food that she'd served. It was spaghetti and meatballs. There was worms in it. Oh, it wasn't spaghetti and meatballs. It was chicken paprikash, which was one of the favorite meals my mom would make. Hungarian dish, because my dad was Hungarian. Can't remember who taught her to make it. Maybe my grandmother. Chicken paprikash, which has got a lot of paprika in it. So Uncle Johnny comes in the kitchen and tells my mom that there's worms in the food. And I remember staying in there, but off to the side and watching what was going on. My mom goes into the refrigerator, takes the square tin of paprika out, and she dumps some of it out in her hand or on the counter or something, and there were worms in it. Like these little fat, they look like roly-polies, but they were worms. They didn't have like legs or anything, and they were moving. You know, they were still alive in the refrigerator, and it must have been that the eggs were in that paprika. I guess when you get paprika, and it's the same with oatmeal. I found bugs in my oatmeal before and in my rice. It's there when it's packaged, taken off the farm. The eggs or the larvae are there, and it can't be filtered out. So a certain amount of bugs are in your food, believe it or not. And I think the FDA allows a certain amount of bugs. I know they allow a certain amount of rat hair and rat poop in peanut butter. But yeah, there were these little worms and they were moving around, and she told Uncle Johnny not to say anything. So everybody just thought the dinner was great. I guess they thought the little worms were just part of the paprika. a little extra protein, right? So ever since then, I've always wondered, when I'm dealing with spices, I always take a good look at them. You ever wonder why they put spices in clear containers now? You know, it used to be the paprika was in like a little white can, about that tall. McCormick or Betty Crocker or whatever, so you couldn't see what was in it. Now all that stuff's got clear plastic, and they do that for a reason, you gotta admit. So make sure you check your spices every once in a while and make sure there's no goobers in there. I just remembered that, and I thought, you know, that would be a good story to tell about the day my mom made chicken paprikash. It's chicken and noodles with like a sour cream sauce with paprika. It's actually pretty good. And she would make onion cucumber salad, which also is very good. And somewhere I have that recipe, and I'll get it for you. I used to make it with just boneless, skinless chicken. Just excellent taste and texture, and makes your taste buds come alive. But check your, I'm guessing that pepper, maybe not so much salt, but pepper, chili powder, and stuff like that could all have bugs in it. I remember once opening a thing of oatmeal that had bugs in it, like mealworms or something. Of course, that's what you put mealworms in when you get them live from the store. You put them in some oatmeal because they eat it. They eat the oatmeal, the mealworms do. That's why they call them mealworms, right? Oatmeal. So the same with oatmeal. You know, I've been having the instant packets of oatmeal that I've had in my cupboard for 6 months. They're still in date until May. I've got some of the Kodiak oatmeal, which is like 19 grams of protein. It's enhanced with, I guess, protein powder, which is sodium caseinate, right, for you weightlifting types. And I've been alternating that and the other one, the Quaker Oats instant oatmeal with apple cinnamon. You know, it's really more like eating a candy bar, but it does have an element that's good for it in it, which is the oats. So in the morning I've been making that. Of course it boils with the milk in it in the microwave, right? So it's gonna kill whatever's fungus or whatever that's in there. But I'm always looking for bugs, and if I see something floating or in it, even after it's cooked, if it's too dark or something, I'll spoon it out. But any type of cereal, dog foods even. I can remember dog food having lots and lots of bugs in it. There was a place that used to take in, used to sell stuff secondhand. North 98. The Dent and something store. And I went over there on a call once, and they had these like 4 big huge chest freezers in the back of the store, like in the warehouse. And inside of them were these 50-pound bags of dog food. And I asked the guy, why you got this dog food in these freezers? And they're freezing them. And he said that he would get the dog food for like $1 a bag from the farm and feed store because it had bugs in it. And to kill the bugs, they would put those 50-pound bags in these big, 8-foot chest freezers. And he would take them out and he would flip them around to make sure that they're all completely frozen. And that's the only way to kill the bugs that's in there. So a good idea to keep your oatmeal, your paprika, and anything else in the freezer that you don't want bugs to get into. Or if you have bugs that get into your food, put it in the freezer to kill them. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Here comes trouble. Here comes trouble, you guys. What? What? Why you want to bother me? Huh? Huh? Why you want to bother your papa? Huh? Huh? What happened to you? What happened to you? Huh? Your face is all scratched up. His face has all got like scars on it. And scabs from fighting. Huh? You being a little tough boy? Huh? Why don't they have cat fights, everybody? They fight roosters. They fight dogs. Why don't they fight cats? Because you probably can't get them to fight, right? If you throw them in a pen, they all run from one another. Even if they're males. Because for them, it's a dominance thing of their territory. It's not just, I'm bigger and badder and tougher than you. You got scabs, buddy. I might be touching goobers on you. Right? Goopy scabs. Go sit down. Go sit down. Go sit down, Sammy. Come on. You're a good boy. What? Oh, now the squirrels are going crazy. Hear them? They can't jump from this pole barn into the tree anymore, so that squirrels, it is kind of cut off their through the air pattern. They can't travel from yard to yard in these trees because we did them in. Right? Any squirrel gets caught up in that tree, the only way they can go is back down the tree. There's no way they can jump into another tree. Of course, the one next door, the guy had taken completely out. So now the squirrel's got to run along the fence. Which I'll have to look at this video. It's at the beginning. To see if that squirrel was running on the fence behind me. Because I think it was. Yeah, they can jump to that tree in the corner. Right? Good boy, Sammy. Sammy the hammy. Ain't so fat anymore, Sammy. You ain't so fat anymore, Sammy. Got a cut on me. You guys ever get a cut and not sure where it came from? This little cut. I have no clue where this come from. I don't remember it bleeding or anything. No, no. No, no, Sammy. That's my story for the day. Yay! Of course, the sun is just now coming out as we get ready to wrap up today's episode of what are we going to call it? Trouble in Paradise. Today, the family was at dinner with an exclusive visitors when, lo and behold, one of the children discovered worms in their food, or worms in the food. Unbeknownst to the guests, they were allowed to finish consuming what was left of their dinner, and of course Mother threw the rest of the food out after everybody was done. Woodpecker actually got a picture of one the other day after I hung up with you guys on this camera. So I went back to last year when I started these, and I started Angel with that HF 200, I think the HF 100, and the HF 10 is the only one of those original cameras I still have, and it's just too old for me to send it to Angel. Even though it takes good video, it's just one notch below good enough. Because these I'll take what's called MXP, which is the max 1080p quality, which is a large file. So this is just under 5 gigabytes for about just under 30 minutes. I'm almost put you on pause so I can clear my throat. If I was in the house making a video, I'd put it on pause. When I'm done here, I think I'm going to go get some coffee and warm up my throat with the coffee. Of course, I don't need the hat on my camera, and it's perfectly level on the bubble. That's with my artsy. I'll show you what the setup. This is the HF M40 camera. This is one step below, I think, the HFS 21, because M comes before S, right? This is my artsy. No. I'll put that in the picture and let you look at it. Actually comes out pretty good. You can see me taking the picture, can't you? You would actually see infinity. No, you can't see. There's too much of a glare. I'll take some more pictures of the sky. It's always good to have pictures. You never know when you'll snap a picture of something that's up there that you didn't realize was up there. And then we can sell it to the Daily Chronicle for $5,000, right? Make a little money, maybe, on the Chronicle. That's about all that's going on here. I say that all the time. That's him kicking the garbage can. It's still in perfect level. You didn't mess with it, buddy. I say that all the time. It's about all that's going on here. How are you guys doing? Everything's fine on this end. Got a little bit of the tree going on behind me with what's left of it. Haven't seen any snakes. It's interesting. So maybe this guy's a snake killer. Usually I see snakes. And no skunks. I'm sure over there in St. Johns County with all those woods and that big state park and the forest. What's the name of that forest on US 1 that you pass through? Matanzas State Forest. There's some wicked animals in there, let me tell you. If I lived up there, Angel, I would probably work at one of those parks or something. That would be a retirement dream job, to work for the Park Service again. working on fences and vehicles and four-wheelers, not three-wheelers. We did have three-wheelers. I told you that story about the time I was driving and we had a cattle gap that was closed. It's basically a fence made out of barbed wire. And I couldn't see it across the road and drove right through it in that three-wheeler. Should have killed me. Literally should have killed me. Because I was hauling butt. After I went through it, I slammed on the brakes. And I had to just kind of look at myself to make sure all my extremities and stuff were still there. I don't think I even had a scratch on me. But it was 3 strands of barbed wire with a double strand in the middle to keep it separated. And it was tight. So it must have snapped off at the pole or something. But that's kind of the story of my life. God could have chastised me in 100 different ways from the time I was small. And God has protected me. And I'm sure that He has and will protect you as He has me. Yes, so many times my life could have ended even before the children were born. Even in the police business, running across people with guns, but thank God nobody got the upper hand on me or had the intent of physically hurting me, other than just trying to get away, right? That's about it. We're at 21 minutes. May God bless you, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. May He remain with you always. And just know that I'm thinking about you. In my mind, I'm picturing US 1 in St. Augustine and the 212 and the 206 and the stores on the left and the stores on the right and that big tank that's on the road as you're going in, the VFW or whatever that is, or the armory. It's got the big M60 tank out in front. I'm thinking, and I can put myself there literally without even going there. Is that what they call an out-of-body experience? Well, I'll check in with you tomorrow. It's the highlight of my day to come out and talk to my best students, my best children. Of course, they're my only children. And maybe other children. How about children of children, grandchildren? Know that your grandpa's here. And I'll always be here to watch over you, guard you, and protect you. And may your guardian angel be with you always, right? Just stay away from them demons the devil sends to get in our hair and get us in trouble. Just try to do what is right. Try to do what is right and just. It is our duty and our salvation, always and everywhere, to give you praise, Almighty God, our Father. What? You already kicked the garbage can? I love you guys. Thanks for watching. For spending time with me today. And take care of yourselves, each other, and your furry friends. And remember that God loves you and that I love you. And forever, together we always will. And may God allow us to be reasonably happy in this life. Supremely happy forever in the next. Bye, you guys. Till tomorrow. This is really nice out. It's probably going on 10 o'clock now. The sun's just coming out from the tree, too. I love you. Happy Easter. Happy day after Easter, right?